Today we're going to work with 2 strands of worsted weight yarn, and I'm going to work with a size 9mm crochet hook. I'm going to start with a slip knot, and then we're going to chain 2. Now this is not a video on learn to crochet, it's a video on learn how to crochet slippers. Check out my link below in the text for learn how to crochet. So after we've chained 2, I'm going to make these slippers to fit my foot, which is a lady's size 6. After chaining 2, we're going to make 9 single crochets in the second stitch from the hook. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we're going to slip stitch to join. And you're going to have a hole here in the center, but when you finish the slippers, you just thread this yarn end into a yarn needle, go all the way around, and then pull it closed. Now we're going to chain 1 and turn, and we're going to make 2 single crochets in each stitch around. We only have to make 1 stitch in the first stitch because the chain 1 takes the place of 1 stitch. So we're going to single crochet, so that's the equivalent of 2. We're going to have 18 across this row. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and 2 more, 18. And we're going to slip stitch to join. Chain 1 and turn. So now we're just going to make 1 single crochet in each stitch around. Again, we skipped this stitch because the chain 1 takes the place of the first stitch. So we're going to single crochet in each stitch around. And slip stitch to join. So now you can see that the work is beginning to form a bit of a cup, and that's going to get more pronounced with each row. So we're going to chain 1 and turn. We're going to slip stitch to join. Chain 1 and turn. And you can see that we're starting to have a little cup here. So I'm going to do 1 more row, and I'm just going to go off camera and do that because it's just a repeat of the row before, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I worked my way around, and I'm going to slip stitch to join. Periodically you should stop and see how this fits on your foot, but I can see that I need at least 2 more rows before I try it on my foot, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so I've gone and done 2 more rows, and I'm going to check and see how that looks on my foot. Okay, so here's how it looks on my foot. I think I'm going to do 1 more row before I start doing the sides. Okay, so I've completed 1 more row, and now I'm going to start working the sides. So I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and I'm going to single crochet in each stitch across the row. But when I get to the end of the row, I'm not going to slip stitch to join. I'm just going to chain 1 and turn. And so then we'll start making the sides and the bottom of the slipper, and we will be leaving the hole for putting the slipper on. So I've worked all the way across, and you can see that that was where I started in that stitch where I chained 1. So I'm just going to chain 1 and turn without slip stitching, and I'm going to single crochet across the row. one single crochet in each stitch, and one more. Okay, so all we're going to do now is chain one and turn, and single crochet across the row. Now that's the same thing we've been doing, so I'm just going to go off camera and complete that, and I'll come back and show you. Okay, so now I've gone ahead and made as many rows as I need so that the slipper will come right around to the back of my heel. And I'm just going to show you how that looks on my foot. Okay, so you can see that the slipper now reaches as long as it needs to fit behind my heel. So now I'm going to fold the slipper so that the two back sides are side by side, and I'm going to slip stitch this back seam closed. So just go right across to the opposite side, and I'm going to match the stitches, and I'm going to slip stitch the back seam of the slipper like this, right down to the bottom. So we've now closed up the back end of the slipper, and we're going to fasten off. So now you could thread this yarn end into a yarn needle, just weave it back and forth through the back seam of the slipper. And we're going to turn the slipper right side out so that the seam in the back is now on the inside of the slipper. So here's how the slipper looks. So now you can leave it plain like this, or I'm just going to show you some little embellishments that you can make to go on them.